If someone were to ask me what the biggest plus about serving in the military was for me, I would tell them that the biggest honor and privilege of having served in the great organization that I belong to in the United States Army was getting to meet people whom I would have never had the opportunity to meet and having the honor of serving with. And what's even more beneficial has been post-military service. I still get to meet those who served before me, those who served with me, and those who are now serving long after I have left our great organization. Having said that, I got to meet a very young and brand new officer in the United States Army, actually in the Ohio National Guard, and his name is Andrew. Andrew, it was a great time spending with you, talking to you real quick about my time and, you know, getting to know what you were doing. Really, this video is in honor of you. It's always a pleasure to meet up-and-coming bright young minds getting to serve our great nation. All right, so with that out of the way, let me really quick cover a couple of things. Well, Race 10, which is what I'm going to cover with you guys, there's not really much for me to talk about in it because, again, things have just been nothing but crazy. So all I can say about race number 10 is sometimes status quo is better than a plus or a minus. Hello everybody, my name is Captain Awesomeness, and as I just mentioned, I'm going to cover race number 10 at G&J Kartway down in Camden, Ohio under the Ohio Valley Karting Association Racing Series. So, you know what? I'm not going to summarize anything. Let's just go into our pre-final and final, and then I'll kind of do an outro. But guys, before you begin to watch the footage, please do me a favor. Please hit thumbs up, please subscribe, and please hit that notification bell icon. Oh, and another thing, I have changed the point of view at which the camera sits, and you know how it's been sitting in the nose of the cart. This time it's kind of sitting to the side. Let me know in the comments below if you like this new point of view. All right, going into the pre-final, I'm about to just show you guys the fastest lap that I was able to pull off and position myself in what I would call an okay position overall as far as starting positions for races go. Anyway, I was beginning to see that there was a bit of an issue with the way the kart was handling on left turns versus right turns. Right turns were very smooth, as you can see here, using all of the available space to make the turn, but then on lefts I had a bit of a struggle where I had to put in more steering input than I would like, and that would slow me down. But anyway, 34.6 seconds is the best that I was able to do. Almost all of my laps during the pre-final were in the mid to high 35s. Going into the finals, I started off in 9th position, which is kind of okay. As you can see, I got number 20, who I call in more of a joking manner my nemesis. We start off and off we go. And in this race, let me just put it this way, I tried to do the best I could to make sure that the kart would turn, but given the axle bearing being loose in the last race and tightening that down, and then also finding out that I needed to widen the width of the rear axle, basically the wheels had to kind of move a little bit further out so that I could be in compliance with the regulations as established by the Ohio Valley Karting Association rule book as to where those dimensions need to be. All of a sudden now I had a kart that would be a completely different animal on left turns versus right. So case in point is turn 3, where as I'm coming through here, you see I have to slow down significantly and I cannot catch up to the guys in front of me. And then on the right turns, like here, it's easy as cake. So this was gonna be an issue for me. I did not know. I had been messing around with everything prior to the final race with regards to the front bar. At first I had it in the flat position, then I put it fully vertical, and then I put it to about a 60-degree slant. And the issue that again I was dealing with was, I don't know if you call it understeer, but basically the idea is that the fronts were digging in, but the rear would not let go, so that I could get a little bit of the slip angle that I needed so that I could make those left turns in the way I wanted to. So here you see I'm just pushing that steering wheel as much as I can, and more than I need to get it to turn, and this is not the ideal thing. So what's it done is that it slowed me down so much that the guys in front of me, see that gap that I originally started with, I couldn't keep up with them. At number 20, I would be right on their butts before this particular race. So all I'm thinking is, what in the heck is going on? It wasn't a matter of what kind of gear I was using. I was using a 62 tooth gear. So in this particular format, which is a kind of a short configuration, I could either go with the 62 or 63, and that gear in the back, all it would do is affect, you know, my acceleration versus top speed. And I wanted more top speed here, as I started to realize, well, if I can't get it to turn, I can at least try to make it have as much top speed as possible. So it was just a matter of kind of trying to figure this out on my own. But the main thing I really want to talk about is lap number 11, where all my efforts ended up doing this. I don't know how to explain what happened here, but all this experimenting I was doing with where I was braking, and I was trying to brake early, all of a sudden, because of the unpredictable nature of this kart, when I hit the brakes, I for some reason thought I could use minimal steering input, and I'd forgotten that I needed to make the kart turn a lot more than I wanted to, and that ended up putting me all against the wall. Luckily, no damage done. I was able to recover and go on, but I had to give up 2 positions. Ultimately came down to 1, so started off in 9th position and then ended the day in 10th. So loss of a position, yeah, I'm okay with it, but still very, 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 very frustrating end overall to the race. So all in all, guys, it was just an okay day. The good part about the day, though, was the fact that I had fellow veterans with me. I've mentioned their name before. I think one of them was Gary Rump, who actually was not here this time around, and then the other veteran that I got to hang out with was Austin Johnson, and then our consultant slash assistant who has been guiding us consultant-wise has been Billy Clune, real awesome young guy. But yeah, so with these gentlemen, we were able to do a lot of things. There were a lot of issues we needed to figure out with not only our individual cars, but, you know, with just the way the trailer was. It was just there was a bunch of things that were going on at the same time, and we still were able to figure it all out. We tried to make sure that we didn't reach out to the other teams too much, so that they had enough time to concentrate on their own setups as well. So all in all, worked out great. Unfortunately, this race, our team captain was not able to make it, but he surely will on the upcoming race that we've got going on the 13th of August. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I wish I had something to really add a value to this race other than what I just kind of started off with. It was what it was, but I think at the same time I still ended up with that desire. You know, once I left the track, I wanted to come back again, and that's exactly what's about to happen. And I think it'll be another exciting one because of the fact that the configuration is going to be long, and I prefer the longer configurations since you can hit higher speeds. I don't know what it is, but I enjoy them a lot more. But anyway, guys, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll definitely see you guys at the next Apex. Bye-bye.